I was reading in 1 Chronicles 11, 17, and 18, and David longed and said, "Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem that is at the gate." And the three brake through the host of the Philistines and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. But David would not drink of it, but poured it out to the Lord. I got tickled because I thought, I have said things to people and said, "Oh, I wish I hadn't said that," because then they go do it for me and they get me because they're being sweet to me. So it looks like that's what David said. He felt bad that they risked their lives to go get him a drink of water. But I thought it said to me, you know what? That's wonderful that he had that. Those three men had that kind of loyalty toward their leader. And I thought, tell you what the Lord did for me while I was reading this morning and thinking of this thought about being loyal. I thought of something I'm going to do for my pastor's wife back home, because I love my pastor and I'm thankful for him. And I thought, I'm going to do something for him. So, and doing something for him, I'm going to do something for his wife, because his wife, she's her service to him and staying married to him and helping in our church. That's doing something for him as well as for her. But anyway, so I'm going to send them a little something. And I think loyalty is like faith. It means assurance of another. In ancient times, the two words had the same meaning and referred to one's loyalty to a person. Faith and loyalty are meaning the same. The person receiving the promise was acting on faith and trusting in that person. And that is what loyalty mainly is. But loyalty has another part to it. It has forgiveness, mercy, and respect. We are to realize that these people and have that respect for them, even when it's undeserved, unearned. Maybe they've done something, a minor infraction. I'm not talking about blind loyalty when somebody does something really wrong, but we're talking about a minor infraction. Or maybe they disappoint us. I've talked to people before that have left a church because the preacher didn't come see them at the hospital. And one lady said that to me, and I said, "Well, do you know for sure that he knew you were in the hospital?" "Yes, I knew for sure." "Well, did it ever occur to you that you were in there just a short amount of time and you didn't have time to come see?" I mean, isn't there any other thoughts that you could give yourself rather than just jumping to the conclusion, he doesn't care about me and he didn't come? That's what I tried to say to her. I talked to another lady in the last year, and she said to me that her pastor said to a girl who'd gone in there about talking to him about somebody that had abused her as a child, that was another member in the church. She said that he said he always takes the side of the accused, and which meant to her that he didn't believe her and was going to take that other person's side, and she was hurt, because he was believing this. He was thinking that she was telling a lie, and she wasn't. And so that person that was telling me was mad. And I said, "Now, wait a minute. You weren't there to hear it. And so I don't believe you can really go by it. And if you're going to get mad at the preacher and think that he said this, why don't you go to him and ask him what he actually said so that you can have the facts?" And so she ended up going to him. And of course, he did not say it the way that girl took it. And it was just a misunderstanding. And she was not mad at him anymore. And I thought, how many times do our poor pastors get falsely accused or be quoted as saying something that they really didn't say? So I'm asking you today, ladies, to have loyalty. The kind of the Bible says in Romans 13 to let every soul be subject unto the higher power. Well, God has put those pastors in our lives as leaders, and let's be loyal to them as much as you can. And believe them. And if you hear something, talk to them about it. Not in an accusatory way, but I heard this preacher and I wanted to talk to you about it. Just talk or else just overlook it and say, "You know what? I'm not going to believe it because I wasn't there to hear it." That's the two ways you can look at it. And that's being loyalty to leadership. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice.